Our first topic is brought to us by FanDuel. NFL Sundays move fast. One big play and suddenly everything feels different. That's what makes live betting with FanDuel so exciting. You're not just watching the game, you're reacting to it in real time. With FanDuel, you can place bets as the action unfolds. Every drive, every momentum swing, every highlight. If you want to be right in the middle of the action this season, visit FanDuel.com and place your NFL live bets all year. FanDuel, the game moves fast and so can you. We got a winning ticket from our guy, Darren Smith today. Darren won a same-game parlay on the Rams-Lions game this weekend, turned $10 into $142. If you have a winning ticket like Darren, make sure you send it in so we can feature it on the show. Bull, as you mentioned earlier,
yes,
only G. Bush was on the panel yesterday, which means the three of you guys have not given your 2 cents on what we saw in the game on Sunday, other than Bull saying he incorrectly predicted the Browns to win. So, Tyvis, we're going to kind of go back and go forward at the same time. After what we saw from Shedeur against Tennessee, we were all feeling terrific about the prospect of him potentially being the Browns quarterback in 2026. He took a step back against Chicago. Are you still confident and still as convinced that Shedeur could be the Browns QB1 next season after what we saw against the Bears on Sunday?
Yeah. I'm not looking at it as a situation of – I think that all rookie quarterbacks have highs and lows, and this was a low. And, people want to point out that his highs was against – Titans and the Raiders, who are not good teams, and his lows was against 2 playoff teams. Okay, that's fair. But even in this game, as bad as the outcome may have been, he still had some passes that was encouraging. He had passes that was discouraging. I think that in this situation, he's chasing consistency. The Judy play, good ball. The Isaiah Bond throws, great balls. But then you have some other throws where you miss some throws to Judy, you miss some throws to Harold Fannin. For him, he has the intangibles to be a good, solid quarterback. I'm cool with him being the quarterback for next year, given the fact that there's not anybody that's coming out in this draft that makes me say, oh, that guy's 100% better than Shedeur Sanders. Like, that doesn't exist to me right now. So I am perfectly fine with them running it back with Shedeur because I still believe that people genuinely likes playing the games with him. I was watching the clip of the Isaiah Bond on the motion and him telling him to run a post and then hit him on the post and all of those things. So he's starting to understand the game of football. You just got to understand that, these guys are professional players as well. Like, they know how to do the bait game and they know how to get you to throw certain things and you can't take the bait. Quarterbacking in the NFL is interesting because, like, you see all these young guys with all the intangibles. They got arm strength. They can run. They got mobility. But at the end of the day, the game comes down to above shoulders, and that is why you see people going to get 44-year-old quarterbacks out of retirement because, like, they understand the nuances of the game. Joe Flacco was able to do well for Cincinnati because he understood the game of football, and our young guys are not getting up to speed that quick, and that's why it's just taking so long. So for him, it's just about him continuing to learn the game, learning the nuances of the game. It's all above shoulders for him. I think that, arm talent-wise is good. His accuracy was unbelievable at times, and then it was times it was left to be desired. So I think he's fine. If I had to grade his performance, there's no way you could give him anything higher than a C- because of the fact that there's 3 picks. Yes, one of them was not on him. The other 2 was 100% on him. But just the highs and lows and the inconsistencies, you can't give him nothing higher than a C- in my personal opinion.
I think, by the way, before you go, Jason, I think that last pick, I can't remember who made it by the Bears.
That Jalen Johnson.
That was a great play by him.
He tried to
throw to Judy?
It.
Yeah.
It
was a bad throw, but it was still a great play.
No. You talking about the one where he tried to throw it to the sideline?
It was
Chauncey Gardner-Johnson.
I thought that was a great play by who I can't remember now who picked it off.
Chauncey.
Yeah,
okay.
Chauncey Gardner-Johnson.
I thought that was an awesome play by him.
Yeah, he did a good job.
Easy play.
What happened was, my thing is, I think so when he missed Harold on a crossing route earlier in the game, and he zipped it right past him. I think that win factor played a part of it because he seen what he did to that one, and he kind of took some off when he threw it to Harold, and it left it hanging too much.
Right,
and
yes.
Dude came and stole it. So I think for him, he's got to throw a better ball on that one.
Jason?
I don't want to derail where we're going with it, but when you're talking about like Phillip Rivers and Flacco and that, we talked last week about the quarterback disparity, and I just feel like no one has really reached that elite grouping yet. It's always the same names that we're talking about: Burrow, Mahomes, Allen, Lamar. It's always the same group, and no one's really cracked that. I finally reached out to Dane Brugler yesterday and had a conversation with him, and he agreed. I thought this was interesting. He said everybody's got a trainer now, right? Like quarterback, everybody's really good at playing quarterback.
Yeah, sure.
Everybody's got their own trainer. The guys see it better now than they probably ever have, but there's still that elite category is still so small. So there's a lot of guys who can play the position, but there's not a lot of guys who can still play it at a high elite level. And he pointed to the 2021 class as being a disappointment, which is why we haven't seen anyone else break through. And that was the Trevor Lawrence and Zach
Wilson.
Thank you.
Wilson.
Trevor Lawrence playing great the last
Fields.
2 months, by the way.
But that class as a whole has been a bust.
Yeah.
And they should be moving into that elite tier, and they're not going to. I just thought that was interesting. And that's how you wind up with a 44-year-old grandpa coming in off the bench, and because they don't trust.
Is he really a grandpa?
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Philip Rivers is a grandpa. That
He's
is
got like
a fact.
12 kids, right? It's really creepy.
I think it's 10.
I saw something about I saw something about like other players his age.
Yeah.
It was wild. Like Troy Polamalu is his
Right.
age.
Yeah.
Like just names that you haven't heard in a generation.
I played against. This how long ago I played against Philip Rivers.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Dustin said he played against him when they played at Ohio
college.
State in
Yeah.
2001.
I told him
Said he had 4
PIs.
PIs on Jericho Cotchery.
I covered that game.
Yeah.
That game. It was a monsoon. The game at NC State. It was a home and home. It was a monsoon at NC State, and then it was like double overtime. Here it was a great game. The one in Columbus was a great
They
game.
about lost. No, I think it might have been triple overtime.
So what sorry to cut you off, guys, but for me, it's very complicated to decide or to figure out what the Browns are going to do, because we have no idea who the decision makers are going to be. It could still be Andrew Berry. It could be somebody else, right? So that's part of the equation we don't have yet. We won't know until after.
I'm with
the
G.
season.
Bush. I don't think they linked at the hip.
Who?
The Kevin and AB.
Maybe not.
I think Kevin goes, AB might stay.
I think it's to me it is criminal if either keeps their job. I think they're both horrible. They both have to go in my mind. I don't. If I had to choose, I guess right now I would take Berry. If they had to keep one, but I would absolutely fire both. The every important position on this team either stinks or is unproven. Except
That's
for
not true.
okay, except for what? Except for
Corner.
okay, who drafted? Did Andrew Berry get the corner?
One of them.
Did he get the best corner? No. Did he get the best pass rusher? No. Those guys were here before him. Okay? So Andrew Berry has built one of the worst teams in football, and that's on him. Kevin Stefanski.
What about linebacker?
Okay, so we got even the worst GMs get a couple of good players. Kevin Stefanski did a good job in the COVID year, and since the COVID year, outside of 6 weeks with Joe Flacco, he's done it's been an absolute crap show for the Browns. So it's time for them both to go, in my opinion. But what I said last week, I don't change. Obviously, Shedeur was terrible in this game. The whole team was terrible. Nobody played well. Who played well in this game? Nobody. The team was trash. Behind this current, not the whole season offensive line, behind this current offensive line, I do believe almost no quarterback can have success with what they're currently running out on this offensive
He
line.
had the second most time to throw Sunday of any quarterback in the league.
He
had the second most time to throw, the second longest.
But that has a lot to do with evading traffic too.
That doesn't mean he's
extending
getting
plays.
good protection.
The protection, and I was the same way. I thought,
Yeah.
he's got truck drivers blocking for him. This is gonna be ugly.
Yeah.
Protection actually held better. Pass protection held better than I thought it would.
I thought it did 2 weeks ago. Eye test did not hold up well this past week.
How many times was he sacked?
5.
Yeah.
He was sacked 5 times?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I'm waiting for the exact. We're going to do this tomorrow.
Okay.
I don't have the exact numbers yet.
Yeah.
Of the 20 pressures Chicago generated, only
Yeah.
one was a quick pressure. Now I don't have the
Okay.
other numbers yet. I'm going to
Well,
get
that's
that. And we'll
telling.
do,
Maybe
and we'll do
my
tomorrow.
eyes are aligned
I
to me.
promise you, we're going to do this topic tomorrow.
Yeah.
But the only stats that have come out so far in terms of the offensive line, of the 20 pressures, only one was considered
Yeah.
a quick pressure.
Now, again, Josh Allen, Browns will be a playoff team with Josh Allen, or at the very least a borderline playoff team with Josh Allen, right?
I don't think the Browns are a playoff
Yes.
team with Josh Allen.
Yeah,
Josh
they're in the
Allen?
hunt for sure. They're in the hunt.
They-
They're beating the Jets. They're beating like these games that
Let
were
me
close.
ask you this.
They win those.
Let me ask you this. Except for maybe the offensive line, because I don't know. Where are the Bills significantly better than the Browns?
running back.
Really? Are you sure about that?
He's having a really good year.
I'm about to say James Cook is
He's having
like
a really
what,
good year.
4th in rushing this
Yeah,
year.
Cook is
but
a
one guy's playing with Josh Allen and behind a good offensive line.
Well,
You just asked me outside of offensive line, where are they better?
No, but I'm saying.
Who would you
Man,
rather
is the
have,
fourth
James
in the
Cook or
league in
Quinshon
rushing.
Judkins?
I'd actually rather have Quinshon Judkins
I'd
because he's
rather
younger.
I'd rather
know
Cook.
about that.
For this year, right now.
For this year, I'd rather have James
It's James Cook. It's not
but
close.
I believe that if they were on the same team, there wouldn't be a significant difference between the two. But okay, fine.
I don't
fine.
care nothing about. Listen, these receivers. Let's keep it a buck.
Bills don't have any receivers. Who are their receivers?
Hey, listen.
Khalil Shakur.
Hey,
Can you name any of their receivers?
here's what I know.
Khalil Shakur,
Here's what I know.
Keon Cole,
Yeah.
I know about their
Curtis
receivers.
Samuel,
Yeah.
Elijah Moore.
They don't drop dimes in the end zone.
Do they? I mean, I don't know. Maybe they don't.
I'm just going. Listen, right now, this is how bad it is. If you watch the tape, me and Tyvis will watch the film.
Yeah.
The Browns' outside weapons are so bad that they have gone to the tendency to split out tight ends, as if that is a matchup nightmare for someone. That means you have a tight end split out wide against a starting corner.
I'm aware of the Browns. But look at their.
Kincaid does the same thing.
But hang on, to your
The
point.
Bills' weapons are not good either.
No, but they're not this. I sent a couple of you guys this yesterday. Jerry Jeudy, I was looking at a bunch of analytics yesterday.
Oh, man.
Jerry Jeudy, offensive target EPA, right? So how many points
Yeah.
you expected to add every time you target this guy?
Yeah.
Not every time he catches, every time you target him.
Yeah.
The Browns have lost 29 points this year throwing to Jerry Jeudy.
Jeez.
The worst in
He's
the
been the
league.
worst receiver in the
and
league.
it's not like analytically, he
Yeah.
is the worst in the league, and it's not even close. Not
Right.
even close. The difference, Puka has added 86 points. Jerry Jeudy has cost the Browns 29. It's a 115-point difference between the number one receiver and the dead last
So you
receiver.
still think you don't think the
No,
Browns?
I don't think the Bills are
Yeah.
all that, but they're not that. Nobody's that. That's
No,
your number one receiver?
That's
your
I'm
number one.
saying,
Cedric Tillman?
Josh Allen makes everybody better.
No, not Cedric Tillman.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
he does.
Yes.
He makes everybody better.
Bro, Cedric Tillman can't even stay on the football field, bro.
I'm not arguing the Browns receive their whole offense stinks.
They just cut
and no rookie could make those guys.
They just cut
significantly
Jamari Thrash, and they drafted him.
And then they brought him back.
They brought him back.
They cut.
Cutter's
Anyway,
remorse.
I've taken us off track with
Wait a
the
minute,
Josh
hold
Allen.
on, wait, because let's be real
Yeah.
about this. They would beat. I'm with Jason. They would beat the Bengals. They beat the Jets. They beat the Raiders.
Titans.
And they beat the Titans.
Well, they did beat the Raiders.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Yes.
So there's three more
That's
right
three
there.
wins.
At least three more.
So that put us at 6.
The Vikings.
6 in the Vikings. That's 4. So that'd
They'd
give
be
us
7-7 right
and
now.
7.
I mean,
in the hunt.
at the least, at very least, they'd
In
be
the
7
hunt.
And that is not no guaranteed playoff. 7-7
No, but it's a whole lot better than 3-11.
So would they be better with Josh Allen? Sure.
Of course.
Would they be better with Superman? Sure. Would they be better with Batman at hit the helm? Yes. But if you watch this team, let's just keep it 1,000%. You watch this. Look, I'm gonna tell y'all right now. I've been watching the game 40 some odd years. If you can only run for 20 some odd yards, rushing.
Well, Shedeur had 22, I think.
And if your quarterback has led you in rushing the last 2 weeks, and those are scrambles, you not win in a high school game, a professional game, a JV game, a field hockey game. You will not win. I don't care who you got back. You can't. The Cleveland Browns cannot run the football for positive gains.
You're saying they would have, and Shedeur played obviously very well.
I feel like
but they would have beaten the Titans with Josh Allen.
Oh, for sure.
Here's the thing. Josh Allen would have made some plays in that, but
this has nothing to do with Shedeur.
No. What I'm saying,
I'm just really more about Jay's craziness yesterday.
But yeah,
What
so,
did he say?
And when Jay's in tomorrow,
Sorry,
you can-
I've sidetracked.
Yes.
This is
So-
my fault. I've sidetracked. Let's go back to the main point. The main point is that would I be comfortable with Shedeur as the quarterback one? Yes. I'm not as. I've said consistently that I don't know. This idea that Shedeur is a sure thing is stupid because he's not a sure thing. This idea that he has no chance to me is also stupid. We haven't seen enough. What I've seen from Shedeur is he makes some wild plays every game. Dylan Gabriel, that's before you say, well, we haven't seen Dylan Gabriel enough. For me, I've seen Dylan Gabriel enough. For Shedeur, I haven't seen enough. But it comes down to what the Browns believe. Whoever's making the decision next year, if they believe, if you have a chance at Mendoza or more from Oregon, and they believe those guys are clearly better, then they should absolutely draft them. If they're not sure, then they should absolutely stick with Shedeur for another year, draft offensive linemen and wide receivers, and let's see what he's got a full year next season.
I just think the evaluation, like sometimes I think people get what they're looking at.
Yeah.
They get kind of outside of the box. You're not going to get an even game from Shedeur Sanders. You're not going to get even trajectory where he's throwing for 300 every week, making the best reads and throws and doing exactly everything you need to do. He's a rookie. He is not good enough to elevate the rest of this roster to a point where he can make it night and day in 4 starts. The thing that you saw with Shedeur Sanders, yes, he made some turnovers. A couple of times he got fooled. I thought when his processing, he got fooled a few times when you talk about the linebacker jumping that route. I thought it was a great play. He got fooled on that one. And the trajectory, I think he was a half-second Tyvis. We'll see it on film. And I think he would have put it on the rope. He would have. But
he should have put it on.
He should have put it on. Yeah. Now listen, those two are on you, right? So you can say, all right, well, no, did I think he played a good game? No. But here's the thing, the evaluation that I think the Cleveland Browns are watching and what you should watch. If you want a franchise quarterback, you want to look for specific things each and every game. Are there some areas he's getting better at, whether it's the pocket, the presence, doing those things? Does he have throws and plays where you say, okay, those are specific things I can point to that I know are franchise quarterback traits? So you look at those things, and then you have to make a projection. Do you believe these are things you can mold, shape, and put other pieces around to get the best out of them next year? And like you said, if you think that Mendoza or one of those guys is good, you have to ask yourself, are they better than what you've seen with somebody who has put it on tape in the league right now?
That's it. And if they decide yes, then they should draft him if they have the opportunity. If they decide no, they should. This idea that they shouldn't until the rest of the team is better is stupid.
I think, personally, where I'm at with the whole Shedeur, why I'm comfortable going into 26 with Shedeur is because it was moments of this season that I looked at certain players and said, why are they even here?
Right.
Especially when it comes to the wide receiver. I've looked at Judy and I said, why?
Yeah.
I've looked at Isaiah Bond and said, y'all gave him a fully guaranteed contract. It hasn't been until 12 came in there that I actually said, oh, he actually can make some play. Like, he actually is pretty good.
Bond, I don't know about Judy.
Well, Judy had a moment. He's had some moments, but that's better than I haven't seen him.
We just said he's the worst wide receiver in the league.
True.
There's that many moments.
True.
Jerry Judy is fine being your third receiver. If he's your third receiver, you feel good about that.
How much is he getting paid?
He's getting paid like a
$17 million
lower tier number 1.
Beggars can't be choosers.
I will die on the hill that you do not pay somebody until they play a snap for you. Don't do it.
I said that last year and people killed me for that.
You think, oh, yeah, he looked good there. It might not be the same. This is 2 times that this happened to Deshaun, Jerry. 2 times y'all to pay somebody before they took a snap, and this is what happened.
I think, listen, if Shedeur ends up being the quarterback next year, and then you spend, your first 3 picks on 2 offensive linemen and a wide receiver, okay, I'm open-minded to that. On the other hand, if they did draft a quarterback because whoever's making the decision was convinced the next guy was the franchise quarterback, I'm not killing them for that either.
So I skipped this, right, because I was talking about Phillip Rivers and everything. So, I mean, do you want me to choose violence and infuriate everyone?
Yes.
Or should we just move on?
No.
Because we can move on. We can just move on.
No, be honest. Who cares if people criticize you?
You took Twitter off your phone, so you good.
This is true. Yeah. It's so much more of a peaceful life. I miss news all the time now, which is a problem for my job.
That's why I can't do it.
Jason, drop the bomb. You got us on the edge.
Yeah, come on, let's go.
Well, no, it's not a bomb. Is there a more analytically driven front office than the Cleveland Browns?
No.
You cannot make a case analytically that Shedeur Sanders is the starting quarterback in the NFL. You can't do it.
Right. Not analytically. That's correct.
And I'm not going to.
The only thing is it's a small sample size.
In terms of analytically, what do you mean by that?
EPA per drop back, completion percentage above expected, anything. You could look at any advanced stat. It is not good. He's completed 50% of his passes. He's got more interceptions than touchdowns.
You want some of them real quick?
I sent you a bunch of them.
I saw PFF grades. Dylan, Gabriel, and Shedeur Sanders are
They're about
bottom
the same.
two.
So this
They're about the
is
same.
the advanced stat sheet on Shedeur. If you like Shedeur, close your ears. It's not good. There are 44 quarterbacks who have logged at least 165 snaps this season. 44. He ranks 44th in EPA plus completion percentage over expected. He ranks 44th in adjusted EPA per play. He ranks 44th in EPA per play. He ranks 44th in success rate. He ranks 44th in completion percentage over expected. He ranks 43rd in overall completion percentage.
Now, those things all take into account the crappy team around him, correct?
It takes into account everything. It's down and distance, it's score, it's field position, it's opponent. It's everything. It's all in. And this is the stuff that
Who's won
teams are looking at.
Out of curiosity.
Who's number one in those?
Yeah.
I mean, Josh Allen's 1 and 2 of the 4, or 2 of the 5.
I was looking yesterday. I looked through a bunch of stuff yesterday.
I know Baker Mayfield's not one.
Well, I looked through a bunch of stuff yesterday.
Why would you do that?
And I broke it down by first 4 starts.
Yeah.
And the names at the top, for the most part, there's a few exceptions.
Yeah.
For the most part, the names at the top are the names you would expect to see at the top. And the names at the bottom, the names that he is in company with, are not names you want to be associated with. Now, in fairness, Eli Manning was 1 spot above him. Jared Goff was right around
He was
there.
terrible when he first started.
And those were first-round picks, number 1 overall.
Right.
They're going to get a lot more leash than he is. And the other names that he's around, he's below Johnny Manziel. He's above Craig Krenzel. This is the company that he's in.
He's below Johnny Manziel?
Yes.
How is that possible?
He's below. I sent it to you yesterday. He's below Johnny Manziel. But you have it, Mike?
If you give me a second, I'll pull
It
it
was
first 4 starts.
EPA. Yeah, I mean, whatever. It doesn't matter. You can pull any number you want.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to do this every week of, hey, he played great, he's the future. Hey, he played bad, he's not.
Right.
But to me, it's not it's more of a question of, do you have to move up to get one of the guys at the top? I don't love the idea of packaging 2 1s to move up for Mendoza. I don't love that idea. Well, you are?
You were. That was the whole reason they made the trade.
Well, no. Well, okay, that's fair.
I love keeping receipts.
That's true.
No, you're
Not
right.
specifically Mendoza,
Not
but yes.
specific, but I said trade down, get 2 number 1s, and go get the guy. Now, in fairness, the quarterbacks this year, there's a couple who are decent. Do you want to trade 2 1s to move up and get Fernando Mendoza?
I do not.
And it's also a matter of who's
Jones.
coming after them, and who teams look at classes 1, 2, and 3 years out.
To be fair, Jason, we were argued a few times where I said, hey, you don't know if there's going to be a guy.
And I
You're
agree
gonna turn
with
out,
you, but it's a calculated risk that you have to take.
Well, they risk wrong.
And well, it's the Browns. They always get it wrong. And that was one of the things I asked Dane yesterday was like, I don't remember 2 classes back-to-back being kind of – usually if there's a bad class, there's a good class that follows. And he said, no, we've had a few years where it's sort of down consecutive years. There really is no rhyme or reason
Who does he like the most?
He's got Mendoza number 1.
Okay.
He's got the Browns trading up to get Mendoza.